Hey there, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, whichever you're watching this from. And this is just going to be a small talk on opportunities of change. So, in terms of our daily life, we all know that the only constant thing in this lifetime of ours is change. So, this means that the likelihood of you staying the way you are uh, for a long period of time is not possible because eventually we all grow, we all develop new habits, new beliefs, new routines, new systems, new ideals, and so on. So yeah, that pretty much sums up the fact that change is a constant, and the only way that you might be reluctant or remain stagnant, I would say, is if you refuse the aspect of change, which cannot be possible as well. It will be really hard for you to do so because at the end of the day, you might not want the same things you did back then, or you might not enjoy the same things you do back then, which kind of makes you feel like life is a little bit, boring or stagnant or mundane, so to say, and repetitive. So that will force you to switch things up, explore new things, explore new opportunities, experiences, places, relationships, and so on. And that not that is not necessarily a bad thing by any means necessary, because at the end of the day, so long as you're staying true to yourself, so long as you're being honest with you and the people around you about how you feel about what is it that you want out of certain relationships, out of certain opportunities, and paths and pursuits in life, then that's all that matters. And following through with that statement or with that proposition for your life, because at the end of the day, even for me personally, I never thought I would be doing the things that I'm doing right now, because I used to be a very shy kid, as I say a lot in my videos or even these podcasts. I used to be a very shy kid. I used to be very enclosed, very suppressed in terms of my emotions and what I truly feel. But then, I stepped out of my comfort zone. I stepped out of my comfort zone, doing, participating in writing, expressing myself through writing, through doing podcasts like this. Never in a million years would I have thought that the past self of mine would be making videos in front of a camera and not, you know, necessarily worried about how he looked, how he sounded, uh, and so on. So yeah, it's a very daunting change for me. I admit that I did stutter a lot. I was very hesitant and very nervous to do so, but I eventually did, and eventually, it wasn't getting a lot of traction, but I found it as a way to communicate lessons, not just for the sake of fame or popularity or monetary reasons, but for the main purpose of providing lessons or insight to other people about my pitfalls, my setbacks, my downfalls, and my struggles, so that people can avoid them, and in turn, especially you, the person who's watching, can avoid them and possibly make better choices than I have to avoid the pitfalls and regrets and heartaches that I endured myself because of the decisions I made, the opportunities I passed up, and the fears that I had. So yeah, it's a very daunting thing. It feels like you're leaving a version of yourself behind, and you're letting go of who you were, who you once were, and your values and your morals and your perspectives and ideals on life. So it's a complete 360, which I can understand. It can be overwhelming, it can be daunting, it can be frightening to do so, but you don't really need to change your whole self entirely, you know, to the point where you're you're a whole different person. It's more about changing the things that don't necessarily interest you anymore, or changing the things that don't really serve a purpose in your life, towards your growth, towards your health, towards bettering yourself moving forward, because that's all we want to do at the end of the day. And that's why I believe that most people implement changes because they want to see a better outcome or better version of themselves rather than the one that they're seeing right now in the mirror. And that could be from your health, that can be, from your physical appearance, your physique, and so on, your routines, just to make you feel better, just to make you feel like you're being more productive, and so on. Doing something with your life, experiencing new places, engaging with new people, connecting with other people, finding out new opportunities and fields that interest you. These are all, you know, subtle changes that you can make into your life that would honestly benefit you. It could, if not in the sense of grabbing an opportunity, it gives you a sense of meeting new people, getting to know different perspectives, different insights, different ideals on life, and how that in and of itself, or how their experience in and of itself, can help you grow in a certain aspect that you're looking to grow in, and so on. I can't remember the amount of times I came up to people in a random setting, be it an open mic or just a gathering itself, whether it be religious gatherings for my religious group, or just with a bunch of friends, with a bunch of their friends that I've never met before. I've gotten to know new ideas, new perspectives, new personalities, and it overall gave me a wider or broader understanding of how people interact, how people are as human beings, and how they normally see and view people in life and experiences and opportunities. And that gave me a really fruitful insight and fruitful conversations nonetheless, because at the end of the day I got to learn. That's the main thing. I got to learn, and in and of itself I could say that I implemented some of their ideas or some of their perspectives onto my own lifestyle, in terms of being productive, in terms of being growing as a person, in terms of letting go of the past and not dwelling on it too much. So yeah, I mean, in and of itself, it's all about perspective. It's all about mindset. You know, sometimes you can, if you have the right mindset, you can think that change is an opportunity. It can change your life for the better. But if you're reluctant to change and you fear it so much, then you might remain stagnant and you might never see another version of yourself that could have been, more fruitful, more better, more more productive, and could ultimately give you a more fulfilling life in and of itself. Because it's not all about, at the end of the day, it's not all about implementing the change and instantly being right where you want to be, or being the person you dreamt of becoming or envisioned yourself to be. It's all about implementing the change, following through with those routines, those minor adjustments that you made to your life, to your health, your mindset, your perspective, your understandings, and ultimately, in and of itself, at the end of the day, like I say in all of my videos, if you don't get anything out of it, like experience wise, in terms of opportunities and so on, and to forward your dream, at least you can take comfort and solace in the fact that, in knowing that you've grown as a person, you've become a better individual because of that, and you become a little more wiser, stronger, and ultimately working towards being a well-rounded human being. That's the main thing. Whether it be being more kinder, more compassionate, more empathetic towards others, it's a win in my book, because that's, at the end of the day, at least you've grown in a certain aspect. You became a better person because of it. So yeah, at times it can be fearful, it can be quite daunting, and completely completely life changing in and of itself. But most of the time it's all about, once again, having the right mindset, having the right perspectives, and ultimately just having the goal to grow as a person. So yeah, don't be reluctant to change. It can be frightening, can be odd to get used to, but eventually in time you'll grow accustomed to your new values, your new perspectives, your new boundaries, your new your new relationships, and it'll be like nothing ever changed in the first place. So yeah, that's all for this talk, guys. Hope you have a great day ahead, and thank you for watching.